You know, it's not easy, right? I went up to Scott just a couple of minutes ago and I said, why don't you go for an extra minute or two? Yeah, which is nothing to me because I'm not playing the piano. So thank you very much.
Themes and variations.
So I asked Courtney if she would come up and light our candle for us just to get us started. Thank you, Courtney. And as we begin, it's just a nice reminder that the flame of God is deep inside. Thank you very much. You know, normally I'd sit down now, we start our usual service, but the reality is this week, something big happened. And I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat or Whig or Libertarian or Tory, it doesn't matter. You know, somebody got shot and killed. And that's not the way to answer anything within the political violence. I mean, it's just not a way to go. And somehow we have to learn to come up with better alternatives than that, regardless of which party we belong to. So I thought this is something that we usually say towards the end. I'd like to invite you all to stand. And let's say this together. Together. Unity stands for peace in the presence of conflict, for love in the presence of hatred, for forgiveness in the presence of greed. Unity lies between God and God, for we know that there is only one power, one presence, and one life. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Dennis. Welcome. This is Unity Spiritual Center, Spokane. And all these shining faces in the sanctuary, welcome to all of you that I can look at, but also welcome to all of you online. As our mission states, we are a vibrant community growing through spiritual practices and love. My name is Sally Sledge. I get to be platform assistant today. Now is a really good time for everyone to think about their cell phone and whether it's in silent mode. Please move it to that. That would be very helpful. As always, we want to begin our time together by sharing our opening affirmation. Together, there is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the Good. This is Unity's foundational principle. It's what we're built on. One presence, one power, one life living through us and as each one of us. We are very grateful today to have as our spiritual leader, Dennis Ashley. He's speaking today with his message, Burn the Ships. I'm sure it'll be very inspiring. It always is very inspiring. Burn the ships. Our music today is provided by our wonderful Scott Jameson and Britt Hopkins. And in just a moment, Cheryl will be leading us in prayer. But first, our song leaders, Britt and Diane Norell, are going to start us off with a community song. Please stand if you are able.
By giving this gift, I show my faith.
And no, Cheryl, if you are watching, please be relaxed. It was not your day. Please join me in prayer. God is love, and the love of God for all creation manifests as divine purpose. I am one with that divine purpose, as are each of you, because we are all one in the Christ consciousness. God is also the source of our individual purposes. Each of us were endowed by our Creator with gifts that are ours alone and that only we can bring to fruition. Bringing these forth manifests divine purpose. However, from this realization, we come to understand that divine purpose only manifests to the extent that we all commit to bringing about our individual purposes. We commit to constantly unfolding the glorious tapestry of who and what we are. As we read in James, in the same way, faith by itself, if not accompanied by action, is dead. We recognize that unconditional love and ongoing grace are always there with us. And we commit to seeing with fresh eyes, to recognize that love and grace are everywhere. As we become more and more alive with the very Spirit of God burning deeply within us, we deny the chaos of the world, the ego, and the stories of limitation that we tell ourselves, and we commit to fixing our heart and our soul on the future, which is alive with all of the possibilities that exist for us. The Spirit of God compels us to keep moving forward. It teaches us to enjoy the challenges of life. It guides us on how best to release the unending potential within us and how to savor a life filled with passion and determination. We are grateful that our souls and spirits are being transformed in ways we never even imagined. We follow divine guidance as we find new ways to live, ways filled with all there is. As we listen to the Spirit of God within us, we come to realize we have always had the strength and wisdom to fulfill our unique calling and our divine purpose in the world. We are only starting to understand that when we say yes, the Spirit of God always works in and through us. As it says in Isaiah, that they who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not be faint. I bless this service, our speakers, our musicians, and all the volunteers that make this service possible. And I am so grateful for the gifts that I have been given and for the gifts that all of you have been given, knowing that we are creating heaven here on earth. And so it is.
good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love your voice. You have led me through the fire in darkest nights. You are close like no other. I've known you as a father. I've known you as a friend, and I have lived in the goodness of God. 'Cause all my life you have been faithful, and all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down, I surrender now. I give you everything. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down, I surrender now. I give you everything, oh Lord. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. And all my life you have been faithful. And all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I'm gonna sing of the goodness of God. I'm gonna sing, 'cause all my life you have been faithful, and all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. I will sing of the goodness of God. Oh, I will sing of the goodness of God.
Wow. That was pretty nice. Scott sent me the lyrics and the music a few days ago. And so I was in my office and I was playing the song and reading the lyrics and I started crying. And you did it to me again. Let's give her another hand. Well, I wanted to talk today about burn the ships. And Jim leaned over to me and said, I don't know if it's going to be inspirational, but I think it'll be hot. So burn the ships. Well, let's take a look at that. Here's the origin of that phrase. It's been used over the last 2,000 or 3,000 years. And so you've got Alexander the Great, who apparently his soldiers were moving towards India, and he burned the ships. I'll talk more about that in a second. Sang Yu, who is a Chinese general, same thing. His soldiers were actually attacking the Mongolians, and he was towards the shore, and they burned the ships. And then you had Tariq ibn Ziyad, Muslim general, Julius Caesar, we all have heard that name. And the one I wanted to spend a moment on, though, is Cortez, because he's the one that's probably been associated with that phrase the most. Now, as I tell you the story of Cortez, I'm not recommending that you go out and attack any countries. But here's what Cortez did. He had 300 soldiers on his ships. They left Cuba. They sailed for the eastern shore of Mexico. And when they landed there, here's what they were supposed to do. They were supposed to conquer Mexico. 300 soldiers, as you might expect. Some were interested in it, and some were not, and some were enthused, and some were scared. So Cortez burned their ships. And he said, there's no going back. Suddenly everybody was for attacking. I mean, there was nothing else to do, right? There was no way to go home. So what does that mean? What does burn the ships mean? It means a few things. And again, I'm not honoring the war part of it. But the concept is pretty interesting, because what that says is there comes a time in our lives when we need to take away the excuses. There comes a time in our lives when we have to say, guess what? There's no plan B. What we're doing is what we have to do. And I think all of us at one time or another have reached that point in our lives where we've said, I want to plunge ahead. I want to do something. I want to stand for something that I've never stood for before. But I'm scared. And I don't know what it means. And I've worked hard to create the life I have, and I don't know what kind of damage or pain or hurt that does to my existing life if I really went for it. If there was really no excuses, if there was really no plan B, what would that mean? And I think for many of us in the room, I think we've reached that point. So what we're looking for really is kind of a shining commitment. And so what does that mean, a shining commitment? I think what it means is there comes a time when we need to believe in ourselves despite all the evidence to the contrary. Yeah. And you know who the greatest creator of excuses is for us? Ourselves. The one who has the most doubt about what we can do? Always ourselves. And I think there just comes a time when we just have to put that aside and become a shining commitment to ourselves, not for others. That may happen, or it may not. But instead we simply do what's right. Now, what we do, I think, is we plunge ahead and we just say goodbye to what's been. I think that I don't mind being in a comfort zone. I mean, there is nothing wrong with being comfortable, except in one situation. And that one situation is when we say, I am so bored. I mean, is this all there is? And every day is just like the last day. That's the time when what we do is we say, there's got to be something that I commit myself to that's bigger and better and more important. And that's a tough one. Just on a personal level. I mean, for me, I retired in December. I did what I thought I was supposed to do. I got up in the morning and watched TV for about 10, 12 hours. and I did that for a couple months, and I thought, oh my God. And so I called Rick as president of the board and said, got a thought for you. How about if I just sort of volunteered to become the minister full-time? Thanks for the applause. I didn't know what his answer would be. It was just exactly what I said. You know, I had retired, and that was what I'd always been looking forward to, and yet it just didn't fit. It wasn't comfortable. Jim Sledge was very understanding. In the board meeting, he said, I just have one question. Are you crazy? And I said, well, yes, but that's a different issue, right? I think what we want to do is realize, too, that age has nothing to do with it. I will give you some stats. Colonel Sanders started KFC when he was 62. Laura Ingalls Wilder published her first book at age 65. Grandma Moses started painting at age 78. Peter Mark Roget published Roget's Thesaurus at age 75. Writer Toni Morrison wrote on the Black experience, and she was the first Black woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize for Literature, and she was 62. And I don't know how to explain it, but somehow Mick Jagger just keeps going. As a matter of fact, as I was doing a little research for this, I read that he had canceled his tour for 2025, but he has scheduled another tour for 2026. I thought, holy cow. But here's my favorite one. There's a woman named Charlotte Chopin, and she lives in France, and she teaches 2 yoga classes a week. No big deal, right? She's 102. So I think there comes a time when, whoop. Oh, thanks, yeah. So there comes a time when what we need to do is to release the past. And when I say that, what I mean is it's okay to honor the past. I mean, that's what's brought us to this very moment. But I think so often our past has been filled with people telling us what our limitations are. You know, oh, love it that you're doing this. Certainly you don't want to be that good. You don't have the skill set to be that good. And yet, what we do is we just sort of step out. We release the past. And we release what people have been telling us, and we step out in faith. It's not easy to step out in faith. I love the Seahawks. And by the way, they play at 10 o'clock today. I don't want anybody coming up to me and telling me the score. But with the Seahawks, Steve Largent was a great wide receiver. And even if you're not a football fan, you can appreciate that Largent, all through college, was 5'9", but when he got to the Seahawks, they decided to claim that he was 5'11". He was 5'9". He was kind of slow. Most of his linemen could outrun him. And yet, when Largent ran, somehow he ran faster than all the people defending him. I mean, that's not possible, right? He physically didn't have the speed, except he did it, right? Muggsy Bogues. If you don't know that name, what a great name, huh? Muggsy Bogues. He's 5'3", and he started for the Charlotte Hornets in the NBA. Now, I'm 5'6". Can you imagine somebody, I'm not, this may surprise you, I'm not very tall. Can you imagine somebody 3 inches shorter than me starting for a professional basketball team? And his hands were physically too small to palm a basketball, so he couldn't dunk a basketball, but he could dunk a volleyball. And so that's what he did. When we release the past, when we step out in faith, it's just amazing what we can do. And I think that that word faith is really intriguing. I mean, that's the tough thing, right? It's kind of like, so many of us say, well, I wish I had the faith, but I don't. And so we think, darn, I guess that's it. No, that's not it at all, because it's a misunderstanding of the word faith. Siddhartha Gautama was the Buddha, and the language that he spoke was Pali. The word for faith was saddha, S-A-D-D-H-A. Jesus, the Christ, spoke Aramaic. It was a dialect of Hebrew. And the word for faith was Haman. In both instances, faith was not a noun. Faith was not a description. It was not about a condition, a mental or emotional condition that you had inside. Faith was a verb. Quite literally, they were the first two to say, you faith it till you make it. And that's because they were saying, it's not how you feel, it's what you do. When you step out in faith, you do it. And if you feel some fear, if you feel some trepidation, that's okay. Maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. But faith says you do it. It's the verb. And so I think that's kind of a wonderful message for all of us. I think part of the deal is, when we're stepping out in faith, is to realize that we all have two purposes. Okay? And one purpose is a spiritual purpose. And that's what we do here at Unity, right? We try to do it pretty well. That's what most religions try to do. And so the purpose is to realize love and to realize oneness and to realize that we're all in this together. And so it becomes this great spiritual thing. You include things like forgiveness and you include things like grace, which are just forms of love. So one piece of coming to know yourself, one piece of burning the ships, is to have that great purpose called love. The second purpose is more human, and that is, what am I here to do? What's my niche? Well, what is it that I can do that others can do, but maybe I'll have one specialty within that, and I can do that one niche a little bit better than anybody else. But what we have to do is we have to depend on that divine principle flowing through us. We have to say, all right, I'm going to step out in faith, but I'm going to have this principle of love and spirituality and all that flowing through me, and I want to feel it, and I want to be one with it. I think that's why we spend a lot of time in the Unity movement and in prayer and in meditation, is we just keep looking for a couple of different ways to experience that divine flow moving through us. And when we do that, when we feel that, when we begin trusting it, and when we take that first step out there in it, just as Rumi said, take the first step, and that's when the way appears. When we sit around waiting for the way to appear without taking that first step, it's never going to appear. Rumi's saying, no, you've got to take the first step. I've been using Jim as an example here for a couple of times, but 20 years ago, Jim and I talked a lot about running with the bulls. That's still on, Sledge. Yeah, we will take that first step, and then we'll. I read that for the most part, if you run with the bulls, most people only run about 20 yards, and then they roll under the fence, and then they go, "I did it." That's all we have to do, Jim. So let me get to 4 specific steps. Okay, and here's the first one. I think that we all need to identify what ships we need to burn. What kind of restraints have we had on us? What voices from the past tell us we're really not quite good enough? And maybe they're our own voices. Maybe they're voices from somebody else. Now, maybe they're from parents. Maybe they're from brothers and sisters. Maybe they're from our first spouse or our second spouse. Well, whatever it might be. Well, the first thing we need to do is identify the ships that we need to let go of. Here's the second one, is we have to see that new course, and we have to see that new course filled with love. Well, what is it that just turns you on and excites you? And you say, well, I mean, I would love to do that, but I really can't. I'm not sure I have that skill set to do that. We do. We have to step out in faith again, which is that verb. And then here's the third step. Do the work and trust your soul. And so here's what I mean by do the work. By saying do the work, I mean research it, what it is you'd like to do. Read about it. Take workshops on it. Read books about it. Do the work. Do the prep. Do the research. Find out what it is that you're supposed to do. And when you step out, will you make a mistake or two? Yeah. I mean, it's not going to go all perfectly smooth. And yet, that's what we do. We give it a shot. And we say, oh, ow, that's, okay, not quite there. Let me step out this way. Oh, okay, that feels a little bit better. And oh, ow, no, that's not quite it. And we keep perfecting ourselves. Well, we make mistakes and we get burnt a little bit, and that's okay. Because if we're on the course that we love, nothing could be better. And then, sail the seas. Now, I said this a couple of weeks ago, but let me get the just the right words here. If the captain's only purpose is to keep the ship safe from harm, then the most logical thing is that the ship would never leave the harbor. But that's not what a ship is for. That's not what a captain is for. The ship is there to explore new worlds, to see new experiences, to take you places that you've never been before. And the captain is the director of the ship. I mean, so if we put that into a more of a spiritual analogy, what I'd say is your ship is your life. And there's a soul inside you. Ooh. Now, I wasn't sure that I'd be able to do that at just the right time. So, here's what I'll leave you with. That sometimes you feel like, you're in the dark. What I want to say is sail your ship. I mean, how perfect is that? How exciting is that? To say, sail a ship. Figure out where it is you want to go. What you want to do is to say, yeah, that's the new light that comes on. So hoist the sails. Do stuff that you've never done before. Take a chance. Take a risk. Stand for something. And the thought I'll leave you with If not now, when? Thank you. So let's take a few minutes in meditation. So let me invite you to put down anything that you might be holding, and if you like, close your eyes. And if you really like it, uncross your legs and put your feet flat on the ground so that the energy can flow through you without interruption. And let's just breathe. Spirit of God, deep inside, we feel the breath. And we understand that that breath can take us places that we've never been before. And so we breathe in the breath of God, the Ruach of God. The Ruach is the breath of God. So breathe in this Ruach and fill your lungs with it. Fill your heart with it. And now I want you to relax into it. Take your mind into that energy, into that Ruach of God. And as you do that, you feel that divine flow moving through you. You feel that divine flow emerging from you. And it is the goodness of God. It is the goodness of God that takes us places we've never been before, takes us deeper than we've ever been before. So let's take that into the silence for a moment. And let's just feel the Spirit of God, that divine principle of God moving through us in the silence. The Spirit of God, somehow help me to take that first step towards a more inspiring life, towards a life that captures my heart and my mind. Because we know deep inside, we are blessed. And so it is, God. So it is. Namaste. Now we've reached that time of the service when we have the love offering. And what I'd like to say, if you're a first-time visitor today, we've started sort of a new new policy here, new idea here, and that is, if this is your first time, just be our guest. There's no need to put any money in the love offering basket. Instead, we just want you to enjoy it and love it and know that you're home again. So in terms of giving, you have all these different ways to give. You can text a dollar amount to that phone number. You can mail in a check to the address there, and then on the third one on the QR code, you can go online and donate in that manner. So would you join me in saying the giving blessing together? I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give and receive. I give thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. June 4th, running with the bulls.
Out of the ruins and rubble, out of the smoke, out of a night of struggle, can we see a ray of hope? One pale thin ray reaching for the day. We can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. Not a city of angels, but we can build a city of man. We may not reach the ending, but we can start slowly and truly mending, brick by brick, heart by heart. Now, maybe now, we'll start learning how we can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. Not a city of angels, but we can build a city of man. When your trust is all but shattered, when your faith is all but killed, you can give up bitter and battered, or you can slowly start to build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. Not a city of angels, but finally a city of man. A city of
Aren't we just gifted here with a lot of just great musicians? So thank you, Brett. Thank you, Scott. So join me, if you would, for a moment in saying thank you for these gifts. So, Spirit of God, we do say thank you. The financial gifts are important to us, of course. They help operate the church. But what's even more important is that they become a symbol. They become a way of saying, oh yeah, this is how I sail toward my destiny, is by giving what I can give and being what I can be. And so we say, thank you, God. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you to everyone involved in this lovely service. Of course, to our wonderful Britt and Scott for the music. For Dennis for giving us something to think about always, something inspiring and hot to think about. And I just feel in my heart right now to add to that list Miss Deanna right here, who, if you don't know, she's the administrator of the church and she makes everything run. Please join me as we say our unity statement together. Unity stands for peace in the presence of conflict, for love in the presence of hatred, for forgiveness in the presence of injury. Unity honors the many names for God, the many paths to God, for we know that there was only one power, one presence, and one life. So, whoever you are and wherever you are on your own personal journey of spiritual transformation, you are so welcome here. And we're glad that all of you here are here, both here and online. First-time guests. If there are any first-time guests in here today, we know that we have a welcome packet for you that has a coupon for a free coffee beverage at the barista stand and some other gifts. So please raise your hand up high so our ushers can give you that gift packet. Awesome, awesome. We're so glad you are here, and we hope you'll stay after for a bit and join us again soon, of course. We encourage everyone to sign up for our email newsletter that comes out once a week, which talks about all the upcoming classes, the events, when yoga is going to be here and relaxation, and et cetera, et cetera. You can sign up for the e-news by scanning the QR code that you see here or is posted in our center, or through the website at unityspokane.org. We'd also like to connect with you on our social media, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Just search Unity Spiritual Center Spokane. Chaplains. Steve has been holding the service in prayer today, and Cheryl will be available. She's with the children right now, I believe, and she will be available up here in front of the sanctuary to pray with anyone who would love some one-on-one prayer support. And this could be for something that's heavy on your heart, if you're a worrier like I am, or you have something to celebrate and want to share with something, please come talk to Miss Cheryl. You can also, of course, request prayer support by filling out a form that's in the seat pocket in front of you, or by filling out a form online and submitting it on our website. Our chaplains and Silent Unity will pray over them for 30 days. Prayer is essential and fundamental in the unity movement. I don't need to tell you that. I would now like to call back up our spiritual leader, Dennis. He's got some more to tell you, some more announcements.
Thank you, Sally. I just wanted to mention two things. One, immediately after, about 5 minutes after the service, we're going to have a meditation in here. It'll be about 10 minutes long, and it's just going to be to see our congregational size growing. So I'd like to invite you all to take 5 minutes, run to the bathroom, come on back, and it's a great time to be able to just see the congregation getting a little bit bigger. The second thing I wanted to mention is I'm doing a workshop on the 17th, that's this week, and the 24th on the Dead Sea Scrolls, and I'd love to have you sign up if you'd like. And so I brought some clipboard, and so you can just sign up if you like, pass it on, and if you would, just sort of keep it moving. I think we've got 25 signed up now, something like that. It would be really nice to have another 35. There we go. And then I wanted to call up Tara.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am Tara Weir. Hope you pronounced my last name too. I was sitting here, Dennis, as you were talking, and you were definitely talking right to me today. There's no question about it. And I was thinking, what?
Stand back closer to the microphone.
Oh, a little closer? Okay. So I was thinking as you were talking about, where is it that my divine love flows in me most? And it definitely flows in me when I walk in this space, when I walk into this building and I see all of you. It happens when I'm with my family and the people that I love. It happens when I'm coaching. I coach people on balance and fulfillment. And it happens when I deliver meals once a month, Meals on Wheels. So I want to add a couple of important names to your list. Louise, she and I were chatting when I was delivering her meal recently, and we got to talking about love and family, and she invited me in, and she showed me this beautiful picture she had of she and her husband. He had since passed, but they were married in the 50s. She was so proud. And then I walk up to Ed's house, and I'm standing on his little porch, and I hear the quail. There's always quail in his bush right behind me. And I see Ed kind of really slowly shuffle to the door, and he doesn't really remember me every time, but he's always like, "Oh, you're new, welcome." And I'm like, "You are so sweet." And there's also Sylvia, who sits in her chair, looking at the door, waiting for us to come. And her little dog, deaf and blind dog of 20 years old, Scooter, is on the ground, on the floor, all snuggled up and everything. And she just welcomes me in. And so I just want to ask you to really touch within yourselves and think about, in what way can you serve? In what way can you help make a difference? Let that divine love flow through you. And if you're interested in making a difference in people's, really big difference in people's lives directly, see me. My email is up there on the board, taraweir40@gmail, and let me know, because we need volunteers. We want to expand our impact. Thank you.
Thank you, Tara. Can you hear my voice over here, sir? Is this good enough? Great, okay. So I'm going to talk fast here because I hear children out there. So blah, 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 blah. Book sales, as you know, there's going to be a 10-minute meditation here. Right after that, please go to the humongous book sale that's right out there in the library, right behind the sanctuary. You'll see it when you come in. There are books for sale, spiritual, metaphysical, sacred, healing, inspirational, smorgasbord of great books on a love offering basis. Please take advantage. Unity orientation. If you are new to Unity and you want to find out more about what we stand for, what we believe, our guiding principles, We invite you to a Unity orientation. It's a 30 to 45-minute orientation that tries to answer basic questions about what we are. It'll take place in the chapel, which is the room just beyond the book sale, or in the far corner of the building, right by the main entrance. It will start at 11:30. That's today, correct? Okay. Halloween party. We're getting there. It's hard to believe Halloween is getting closer, and the Connections team would like to invite you and your kids to a costume party on Saturday, October 11th. It'll start at 10 a.m., run until 11:30 in the morning. It's going to be great. Games, bingo, all sorts of activities. And y'all can come back that evening, that's Saturday, October 11th, for a great fundraiser. It's a karaoke and desserts. I'm practicing already, so I invite all of you to practice and think of something you'd like to sing and share. Talent's not required, but having fun definitely is. It's going to be quite the Unity Day. Halloween in the morning and then singing and desserts at night. Ray Owens photography. A moose, a porcupine, a confused deer. We have some new wonderful art in our art lounge. Please go out there and take a look at it. Is Ray here? I thought I saw him. Yes, thank you. Hard to see with the lights up here. All right, Ray is right here. He showcases some great wildlife and flower photography. So drop by and see them. Next week, next Sunday, promises to be a great day. Scott Sherman, Reverend Scott Sherman, will be speaking at the church. He was here when this building was built back in the day. Reverend Scott will talk on gratitude, gracious, great. And our special music will be by, of course, Scott and Pamela Benton. On whichever instrument she chooses, she is proficient on mandolin, electric violin, guitar. She's fabulous. And now it's time quickly for our Unity trivia question that was in the Wednesday e-news. Silent Unity started in 1890. What the heck is silent unity? That's the question. I'm going to zip through the answer. Silent Unity started in 1890 as a prayer group for people who had sent their prayers into Unity by mail. 1890. Then in 1907, Charles Fillmore, one of the Unity founders, added a telephone system so that people could also call in for prayer assistance. I love this. Today, you can visit, write, call, text, or email your prayer requests to Silent Unity still. And there will always be someone there to pray with you. Because Unity believes in prayer so deeply, since 1929, there has never been an interruption to this 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week, 365-day-a-year prayer center, even through the Great Depression and World War II. Isn't that fabulous? I love learning that. I thought I knew everything about Unity, but I don't. So I love this trivia. Now it's time. Let's welcome our kids in, please. We are so blessed to have all the the young youth, the older youth, and all the volunteers who help teach them and guide them. Let's rub our hands together and offer our children's blessing. Together, be the love you are, sing the song you hear, share your joy of life with people far and near. And the same for ourselves. Be the love we are, sing the song we hear, share our joy of life with people far and near. And now, children, all of you can go back to the people who brought you. Thank you for being here, all of you, and your energy and your smiles. And now what's next, if you would stand if you're able, and join us in the, thank you, going so fast. Please don't forget about the meditation if you want to come in and be part of the 10-minute meditation. Remember that we'll start that about 5 minutes after the end. And so together for the prayer of protection, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us, and the light of God. Power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. The truth.